The Buddhist teaching, there is a type of karma, invisible to the eyes, yet it controls your entire life. Welcome back, everyone, to Mind Podcast. Some people commit murder and face punishment. Others betray and earn a bad reputation. But there exists a type of karma deeper than murder, heavier than betrayal, and most terrifyingly, we may carry it throughout our lives without even realizing it. What is this karma? Why is it the root of all suffering, and how can we break free from it? Please sit down, listen to this gentle Dharma talk, and join me in exploring a question that everyone must face at least once in their lifetime. What is the greatest karma of a human being? The greatest karma in a person's life is not a crime, but ignorance. From the moment we are born, we carry a karmic consequence that cannot be seen with the eyes or grasped with the hands, yet it shapes every step, every choice, every smile, and every tear throughout our journey as human beings. Someone once asked, of all types of karma, which is the heaviest? Let us not rush to answer, for to understand this, you must look deeply. A person who takes a life faces retribution. One who deceives or betrays causes pain to others and must bear painful consequences. But if we trace these actions to their root, they all stem from something deeper: ignorance. Ignorance is the root of all suffering. Ignorance is the failure to see the truth, to recognize impermanence, to understand cause and effect, or to realize that our mind is swayed by greed, anger, and delusion. Because of ignorance, we crave, believing we can hold on to everything in this life forever. Because of ignorance, we become angry, thinking we alone are right and anyone who opposes us is an enemy. Because of ignorance, we chase after fame, wealth, praise, and criticism, sacrificing our spiritual heart. No one kills in clarity, no one betrays with a heart full of mindfulness, and no one speaks harmful words or creates verbal karma when their heart is filled with compassion. All these actions arise from a clouded mind. This is called ignorance. To live without awareness is to create karma every single day. Some people live their entire lives without killing, harming, stealing, or causing enmity, yet they dwell in delusion, selfishness, and isolation. They live without loving, understanding, or feeling gratitude toward anyone. This, too, is creating karma. Many believe karma is only about obvious wrongdoings: hitting, cursing, stealing, or killing. But the greatest karma lies in how we live each day, without awareness, without mindfulness, without turning inward. Those who do not understand cause and effect live recklessly. Those who cannot see their own faults blame heaven and earth. Those who fail to look deeply into their hearts always believe their suffering is caused by others and never learn to cultivate themselves. Cultivation is not about offering prayers to the Buddha every day. It is about recognizing your own mind in every moment. Someone asked, is cultivation about going to the temple often, chanting sutras, or reciting the Buddha's name frequently? That is not wrong, but it is not enough. True cultivation is when you notice your anger arising and choose to pause. It is when you are about to say something hurtful but choose silence instead. It is when you feel resentment towards someone that you sit down, take a breath, and try to understand and forgive. That is true cultivation, and it is how you transform the karma of ignorance through the light of mindfulness. No one is perfect, but those who reflect on their mind begin to transform their karma. Do not wait until karma ripens into consequences before regretting, nor think that karma is something distant or only for the wicked. Every glance, every word, every thought in daily life is planting a seed. Plant wholesome seeds, and flowers will bloom. Plant harmful seeds, and suffering will bear fruit. Live with awareness, and you will journey far without losing your way. Live in ignorance, and you will remain trapped in an endless cycle. Thus, the greatest karma in a person's life is to live without ever turning inward, unaware of what you are doing, why you suffer, or how your pain echoes the pain of others. It is never pausing to ask, how am I living, and where will this lead me? This is the karma of a wasted life. No obvious sins, yet suffering piles up. No one holds you accountable, yet your heart bears its own torment. Only the light of understanding can dispel the darkness of ignorance. When you understand cause and effect, you will no longer resent heaven or blame others. When you grasp impermanence, you will know when to let go. When you recognize suffering, you will learn compassion. And when you understand your own mind, you will step onto the true path of liberation. There is a simple story that, though humble, leaves people reflecting deeply. A middle-aged woman lived in a materially comfortable family, yet her heart was always restless. Her husband worked hard all day and spoke little. Her daughter studied far from home, and her son often defied her. She would frequently say, "I haven't done anything wrong. I've sacrificed everything for my husband and children, yet no one understands me." She lived in frustration. Whenever her husband was silent, she thought he was dismissive. Whenever her son was rebellious, she shouted, "Who am I living for? Who am I living for?" One day, she happened to hear a Dharma talk by a Zen master. The teaching was not profound, just an ancient lesson. When the mind arises, suffering arises. When the mind ceases, suffering ceases. To create a harmonious family, step back to see the winds calm and the sky clear. She sat quietly during the talk, tears streaming down her face without anyone touching her. For the first time in her life, she saw herself in the mirror. The Buddha's teaching, no one forces you to suffer. It is your own anger and suppressed expectations that make it impossible for you to love. She loved her family through sacrifice, but within that sacrifice lay expectations, resentment, and conditions. From that day, she began to practice timely silence, to listen more than speak, and to let go of her demands. Instead of interrogating her son, she started asking gentle questions. Instead of complaining to her husband, she cooked dinner and smiled. Gradually, the atmosphere in the home changed. Her husband remained quiet, but his gaze toward her softened. Her son was still stubborn, but he stopped though he no longer raised his voice. As for her, for the first time in her life, she felt a peace that came not from others but from her own transformation. How many times have we suffered because we thought others were wrong? How many times have we been angry because no one understood us? We want to be recognized, loved in the way we expect, and for others to change without ever reflecting. Is our heart clear yet? Karma is not a calamity that comes from somewhere else. It is a reflection of our own mind. If we live with impatience, life will feel cold. If we live narrowly, the world will turn its back. If we live with compassion, the world will open wide. It all begins with the seeds we sow. No one grants blessings, and no one brings calamity. The Buddha taught, if you want to know what you did in your past life, look at your present. If you want to know what your future life will be, look at what you are doing today. So, do not wait for a crisis to awaken. Do not wait for loved ones to turn away before cherishing them. And do not wait for loss to appreciate what you have. For when the fruit ripens, regret will be too late. Awakening cuts through the chain of ignorance. No one forces us to suffer forever, but if we do not study the Dharma or reflect on ourselves, we will repeat the same cycle, resenting others, blaming life, and complaining endlessly. The wise do not seek faults in others. The cultivator does not try to fix others, but first corrects themselves. Awakening is not about meditating for hours each day. It is knowing you are angry when anger arises, pausing before saying hurtful words, and breathing slowly to calm a restless mind. Peace is not the absence of storms, but a heart steady enough not to be swept away. True cultivators live amidst life's gossip, adversity, and loss, but they know that suffering lies not in circumstances but in how we face them. A word of criticism may unsettle the deluded, but the awakened hear it like a passing breeze. A failure may crush the ordinary, but those who know the Dharma see it as a lesson. The world remains as it is, with love and hate, praise and blame. The deluded suffer through it, the awakened smile and move on. Life is impermanent, human existence is finite, so do not sow too many harmful seeds in your heart. Bad fruits may not ripen immediately, but they will mature in time and fall when least expected. Yet, the moment your mind gives rise to harmful thoughts about others, life, or yourself, suffering begins. You do not need to wait for the fruit to feel pain. Simply harboring an unwholesome thought makes your heart heavy, restless, and robs it of its inherent clarity. Even if the words remain unspoken or the deed undone, a mind filled with resentment, anger, or jealousy already bears the karma of a heart no longer at peace. So, if you can, live gently with others not because they deserve it, but because your heart deserves peace. Pause before speaking harsh words, turn inward before blaming others, and let go of one grudge today so that tomorrow your heart has room for joy. Impermanence comes softly, but retribution never errs. Life is impermanent, nothing lasts forever. The person here today may be gone tomorrow. The laughter at the dinner table today may tomorrow be only a memory. Wealth, fame, and power, none can be taken when we leave this world. Human life is finite. We are given only a limited time to live, love, and cultivate. Each passing day brings us closer to the end, not a new beginning. So why live in anger, resentment, or so harmful karma that weighs down our own hearts? Bad karma does not wait for retribution to cause suffering. Some think, what I say is my business, what I think no one knows, as long as I haven't caused real harm, it's fine. But the Buddha did not teach us to avoid evil only in action. He taught that thought is the origin of all karma. The moment you harbor anger, envy, or resentment, your heart begins to bear the fruit of suffering. Why? Because each unwholesome thought dims your inner light, weighs down your heart, and drives away peace from a heart burning with hidden resentment. It is like a person sitting in a sealed room, lighting a fire of anger. It has not yet burned others, but it is already consuming themselves. Therefore, do not think that bad karma is only the concern of the wicked. Anyone, if they do not reflect on their mind, may be creating karma without realizing it. And the most terrifying karma is not killing or harming others, but killing the peace within one's own heart. A mouth that has not spoken evil does not mean the heart is pure. Hands that have not acted wrongly do not mean the mind is kind. A cultivator is not someone who never harbors harmful thoughts, but someone who recognizes when such thoughts arise and extinguishes them with wisdom. The awakened person knows when to pause. When about to speak hurtful words, one who knows the Dharma chooses silence to avoid creating more karma. When tempted to judge another, a cultivator takes a deep breath and reflects on themselves first. When envy arises upon seeing someone surpass them, a person of wisdom recites the Buddha's name to transform jealousy into joy. Each day, ask yourself, have I lived with kindness today? Do my words plant karma or sow flowers? Do my thoughts lead to peace or guide me towards suffering? Life is impermanent, and human existence is finite. None of us know how many chances we have left to love someone or forgive ourselves. So, love while you can, stay silent when needed, let go when appropriate, and live each day as if it were your last opportunity to do what is right. By living with mindfulness and awareness, you not only sow blessings for the next life but also cultivate peace in this very life. To be awake amidst the world is to be a true learner of the Dharma. To live in the ordinary world without losing your way is to be a true cultivator. The path to enlightenment is not far away. It begins with this very breath, in this very moment. Today, I invite you to reflect on the Buddha's teachings, to sit and listen to the call of awakening from your own heart. Life is like a sudden rain. We cannot know when the sky will clear. Do not ask why good people suffer or why the wicked seem at ease. Cause and effect unfold in their own time, not according to the schedule we desire. Our task is to keep a wholesome heart, and as for wholesome fruits, leave them to the heavens. There will be days when you feel you have no one to rely on. The person who promised to stay by your side forever has now taken a different path. The dreams that once burned brightly are now mere ashes in a corner of your heart. But dear friend, it's all right. For it is these losses that teach us the greatest lesson. Everything is temporary, even what we cherish most. The Buddha did not come to teach us how to avoid suffering. He taught us how to pass through suffering without losing ourselves. You once asked, why do I still suffer despite practicing? Perhaps because you were cultivating to seek external peace, without sitting down to listen to the storm within your heart. You sought light outside, forgetting that the brightest lamp lies within your own mind. Cultivation is not about being sheltered from storms, but about being steady enough to walk through them without being swept away, without falling, without losing faith in cause and effect, and without resenting life for not meeting your expectations. One day you will see, knowing when to stay silent is wisdom, knowing when to walk away is compassion for yourself, and living without expectations is true freedom. If one day you lose everything, do not fear. Remember, as long as your heart remains, you have everything. A heart that knows how to love, understand, and let go is the source of all peace. The Buddha's teachings do not promise wealth or status, but they help you grow rich in compassion and wisdom, so that even amidst the competitive chaos of life, you do not lose your way, even in the darkest moments. You are the one who lights your own torch to keep going. And if today you simply sit quietly, sip a cup of tea, gaze at the small patch of sky outside your porch, and feel no anger, no expectations, no resentment in your heart, then you have lived a day truly worth living. Sit down, dear one, and let me tell you about life. Sit down, let go of your burdens, and let your heart find stillness. You have walked too long, run too fast, carried too many troubles, to the point where you can no longer hear your own breath. Today, I am not here to blame you. I am here to remind you that in this ever-changing life, no one escapes suffering. Some suffer because they have nothing, while others suffer because they have too much yet never feel satisfied. Some suffer because love is unfulfilled, while others suffer because they have someone by their side yet still feel empty. Do not think that power, wealth, or love guarantees happiness. No, dear one. Happiness does not lie in external conditions, but in knowing contentment, letting go, and returning to yourself. Do you know, when I was still a prince, I lived amidst silks and golden palaces with power, status, and attendants at my beck and call. But one day, stepping outside the palace gates, I saw the old, the sick, and the dead, and my heart ached. I asked myself, if everything ages, sickens, and dies, what is real in this life? And so, I left the palace not out of weariness with life, but to find a path to end suffering for all beings. Now, I sit before you, not as a king, not as a god, but as one who has seen through suffering and wishes to show you the way out. That path is not in the heavens or in the next life. It begins with this breath, this moment, when you return to yourself. People once asked me, how can we reduce suffering? I answered, to end suffering, you must understand where it comes from. To overcome anger, look deeply into its roots. To love others, learn to understand them. To let go, see clearly what binds you. Not everyone who comes into your life is meant to stay. Not everything you desire is good for you. And not everyone who loves you will never hurt you. But if you live with awareness, whatever happens, you can learn something from it. Do not run from suffering, dear one. Face it directly, for suffering is the doorway to wisdom. Cultivation is not about abandoning life. It is about living in the world without losing yourself, without letting your heart be swayed by every word, glance, gain, or loss. Cultivation is about refining yourself. Each time you pause an outburst of anger, you are cultivating. Each time you forgive instead of resent, you are cultivating. Each time you act with kindness, even if it is not returned, you are cultivating. Do not wait until you are old to cultivate, or until you suffer to learn to let go, for in this life, no one knows how long their journey will be. Sit down, dear one. If you are weary today, breathe deeply with me and listen. Within your heart, there is still a place of refuge untouched by the waves of life. That place is called the pure mind. Only when you return there will you truly be free. In this unstable world, I am here not far above, but within your heart, when you pause, let go, and look deeply into yourself. In this impermanent life, the most precious thing is not what you possess, but whether your heart is at peace. If today you can sit quietly, take a deep breath, let go of something small, and feel your heart lighten, then you have taken another step on the path to enlightenment. I do not guide you to become a saint. I only wish for you to live as an awakened person, living without harming yourself or others, with sincerity and compassion. And if you ever feel lost, remember, you need only return to yourself, and you will find me. For the Buddha is not far away. The Buddha is in every wholesome thought you cultivate, in every compassionate glance, and in every step you take that does not harm this life. We all wish for someone to hold an umbrella when it rains, to comfort us in times of injustice, or to protect us in moments of danger. But we all understand, no matter how long the road, we must walk it ourselves. No matter how tangled the problem, we must solve it ourselves. No matter how hard the pain, we must pass through it ourselves. The ways of the world are unpredictable, so we must stay awake. People's hearts change, so we must adapt. Learn to cherish, but also know when to let go. Facing what is hard to face is sometimes an act of courage. Accepting what is hard to accept helps us grow. Though the human heart is often weak, strive to live with strength. For no one can live your life for you. Love yourself, treat yourself well, and live days you can be proud of, so that with a peaceful heart, you can move forward. Yielding to others avoids petty conflicts. Looking far ahead reveals the rainbow after the rain. Packing light allows you to travel with ease. In truth, the most beautiful scenery is not seen with the eyes, but felt with the heart. Deep emotions need not be spoken to be understood through actions. When things go wrong, remember the nature of water, soft, gentle, quietly embracing all, transforming everything without conflict or argument. If everyone could cultivate such a state, what worry would there be that the world would not be at peace, or that hearts would not be calm? The same applies among friends. If you treat them with respect and regard, they will respond with kindness and courtesy. But if you scorn or shout, you will receive discontent and disdain. Thus, in life, treat friends with sincerity, family with devotion, loved ones with tolerance, and enemies with forgiveness. If you always hold wholesome intentions and treat others kindly, they will gradually sense it and respond in kind. A heart filled with goodness elevates the quality of life. As the mind shapes appearance and circumstances shift with the heart full of kindness will shine outwardly, spreading to those around and yielding wholesome results. Some things, when let go, bring lightness. Some people, when remembered, bring happiness. Some pains, when understood, make us stronger. Dwelling too much on an issue traps us in circles. In truth, even the simplest matter, when overthought, becomes complex. With a calm mind and an open heart, whatever comes will pass simply and lightly, leaving peaceful days for your life. Find me a tree to rest beneath. Amidst the scorching sun, amidst the pouring rain, against the tides of birth and death that push and pull. Find me a tree to offer just enough shade. The familiar path, limping back and forth. Weary feet, fading passions. I wander in a haze, lost in thought, unable to step beyond the web of karmic ties. Find me a tree of true origin. Leaning in, it vanishes. Entering the mouth, it's impermanent. There are nights when you lie awake, tossing and turning, thinking about the future, the path you're on, and nameless comparisons that tighten your heart. At times, you feel so small in a vast, harsh society. You look around and wonder, am I capable of achieving something, or will I forever be just an anonymous grain of sand? Dear friend, if you are striving, you are already ahead of those who merely stand still and complain. If you are persevering, you are braver than those who always seek shortcuts. And if you still hold faith in yourself, you already have the first spark to illuminate your entire journey. No one is respected without earning it. People only truly listen when you have something worth saying and value that others want to hear. So, don't be sad if you're not yet seen. Don't be discouraged if the world turns its back. Keep working, learning, quietly honing yourself, and forging ahead with strength. One day, when you shine brightly enough, you won't need to speak, others will naturally seek you out. Achievements are not for boasting, but for building a foundation to live more freely, to speak what you understand without being dismissed. True value lies not in promises, but in the actions you persistently carry out each day. Live your own life, without comparing or envying. Each person matures at their own pace. Don't force yourself to be like anyone else. As long as you don't stop, you will eventually reach your destination. You are a light, even if no one sees it now. Keep shining, and one day, the world will recognize it. Life is not always calm like still water. There will be days when your mind is in turmoil, your heart unsteady for no clear reason. But instead of floundering in a sea of worries, learn to sit with yourself. Peace is not found in crowded places, nor in applause or praise. Peace is when you understand what you need and find contentment in what you have. True strength is not about competing with life, but about yielding at the right moment, staying silent when needed, and keeping your heart serene amidst the chaos. Learn to live like a dewdrop on a leaf, clear, gentle, arriving quietly, departing softly. As long as your heart is at peace, the world will be gentle too. As long as you keep striving with true kindness, life will never betray you. Who doesn't wish for a smooth life, free of pain and worry? But if life were only warm sunshine and calm, how would we learn the value of serenity in the storm? In life, there are paths no one can walk for you, tears no one can share, falls from which you must rise alone, and sorrows only your heart can fully fathom. We live among countless people, yet some moments of loneliness are inevitable. Not because no one cares, but because some things only your heart can truly feel, whether heavy or light. And it is these moments that teach us strength, teach us to listen to ourselves. In the blink of an eye, a year passes. With a turn, half a lifetime is gone. Time waits for no one. A human life is but a fleeting moment in the universe. So, cherish every moment you live. Let what has passed go, and do what needs doing with all your heart. When tired, pause and savor the gentle moments of life. A warm cup of tea, a cool evening breeze, or simply the sigh you let go. In stillness, reflect on your own faults, not others. In spare moments, rest, and don't trouble yourself with the rights and wrongs of the world. The longer you live, the more you realize, serenity is not escaping life, but living in it with a heart as calm as a still lake. Happiness is for feeling, not displaying. Life is for experiencing, not calculating. Relationships are for connecting, not testing. Parents are for honoring, not demanding. Friends are for sharing, not comparing. Family is for caring, not hurting. Money is for spending, not measuring. Fame is for contributing, not boasting. Possessions are for using, not craving. Trust is for certainty, not pressure. Everyone born human has a certain share of blessings, like a bright moon with corresponding merit. If we fail to nurture those blessings and instead create unwholesome karma, we become like the moon from the full moon to the new moon, fading into darkness. How sad that would be, wouldn't it? But if we cherish and nurture our bright moon, growing our blessings, we become like the moon from the new moon to the full, shining ever brighter. How precious that would be, wouldn't it? We must seek peace. Where is peace? Where has our peace gone? So, let us listen together and search for the peace within our hearts. Being human is neither easy nor hard. It's not easy to move thousands of hearts toward goodness or to control the tongues of the world. Yet it's not too hard either. Simply keep a kind heart, be a gentle person, walk your own path, and that is enough. No matter how well you live, some will praise, others will criticize. No matter how successful you are, some will still judge. Good or bad, flowers come in countless forms and styles, yet they bloom and spread fragrance without hindrance. In life, each person has their own way of living. Why not lift each other up instead of tearing each other down for no gain? Right or wrong, good or bad, depends on human perspectives. The key is not to erase differences, but to dissolve the competition, envy, and stubbornness within our own hearts amidst those differences. Sometimes, you know you're sowing good seeds, but the fruits remain unseen. You've forgiven, endured, lived well, yet misfortunes still pile up. Meanwhile, others who speak ill or act wrongly seem to live fully, their laughter ringing loud. You begin to doubt, don't you? Doubt whether the law of cause and effect is just comfort for the weak. But dear friend, karma is not a breeze to see with the naked eye, nor is merit gold to count with your hands. Some consequences don't manifest in one lifetime, but follow you through 3 or 4, like a shadow clinging to the body, like a scent lingering after smoke. The Buddha taught, when karma arrives, don't fear. When blessings come, don't boast. A heart like still water remains clear even amidst great waves. When bad fruits arise, it's not punishment but a chance to resolve old seeds you sowed. When good fruits haven't come, it's not injustice but blessings ripening slowly, silently. The hardest part is not living well, but keeping your heart steady when goodness isn't yet rewarded. That is the virtue of a true practitioner, the strength of patience. The key to unlocking all difficulties lies in not being discouraged by delayed fruits, not growing angry at injustice, and not losing yourself in a deceitful world. For they know, when cause and effect come slowly, it's the heavens giving you a chance to mend, transform, and sow more. It's not loss, but a silent building of something more enduring. Like a bamboo tree that doesn't grow much in its first year, but shoots up in its 5th not because it only then began to grow, but because it spent years quietly strengthening its roots deep in the earth. A person living kindly is the same, not without achievement, but building a strong foundation of merit. When the time comes, all good fruits will bloom at once, radiant and lasting. Living in harmony with cause and effect requires practice, wisdom, and compassion. It's not about bowing to every pain or surrendering to fate. It's about knowing what seeds you're sowing, being aware of the consequences of each action, and bravely taking responsibility for yourself, whether the seeds are wholesome or unwholesome. A practitioner doesn't resent adversity, knowing it's a lesson to temper the heart, not a calamity to blame on life. A wise person doesn't blindly sow bad seeds, pausing before speaking hurtful words and reflecting before acting against the path. A compassionate person doesn't live only for themselves, but opens their heart to love, understand, and forgive not because others deserve it, but because their own heart deserves to be lighter. Practice keeps the heart steady through all changes. Wisdom discerns which seeds to sow and which fruits to avoid. Compassion ensures you pass through life without harming others. Living in harmony with cause and effect is also living with contentment, not craving what isn't yours or fighting for what doesn't align with your path. Knowing when to advance and when to retreat is wisdom. Accepting a small loss for a peaceful heart is compassion. At times, you may feel you lose by not competing, not calculating, not resisting. But dear friend, losing a battle of ego costs only a bit of pride, while winning over yourself sows a lifetime of peace. Living in harmony with cause and effect is also about sowing anew. No matter your past life or present suffering, if you begin living kindly today, your future will surely change. Like a person lost in a dense forest, turning back reveals the way out. Living within cause and effect, you don't need to dodge karma, but transform it through changes in your heart. A changed heart changes karma. A kind heart creates kind circumstances. A bright heart opens the path. Amidst life's ups and downs, choose to live like a stream, not competing, not rushing, quietly flowing and seeping deep into the earth. Keep living kindly, even if no one sees. Stay sincere, even if life feels cold. For cause and effect isn't in the eyes of the world, but in every moment you sow thoughts, words, and actions. Living within cause and effect is a long journey, sometimes soaring, sometimes stumbling, sometimes feeling alone in a crowd. But those are the moments your heart is forged to not fall, not resent, and not lose itself. You don't need to become enlightened, just reduce a bit of anger each day and grow a bit more understanding of others. You don't need to chant 1,000 sutras. Just live so that each day passes without causing suffering to anyone. That is the path. Complaining about others is like torturing yourself. Envying others is like belittling yourself. Admiring others is like wasting yourself. Resenting others is like upsetting yourself. Deceiving others is like fooling yourself. Slandering others is like destroying yourself. Obsessing over others is like troubling yourself. Hindering others is like harming yourself. Being compassionate to others brings joy to yourself. Respecting others earns you affection. Being tolerant of others opens your heart. Helping others makes you virtuous. Wandering in the Saha world. Startled, I realize my heart is unaware. In a glance, a day has passed. Years gone, months vanish, a lifetime slips away. Caught up in trivial worries. Building only what flows past like water under a bridge. Suddenly, a sorrowful summons arrives. Tomorrow, I'm called to face Lord Yama. Oh Lord, please wait a moment. I have urgent matters yet unfinished. The silent death god nudges me along. Follow me, no use grumbling in vain. Knowing it's over, I stand weeping in the fields. Certain I've lived a life adrift in delusion. And so, eyes closed, feet still, karma drags me through the 6 realms. All because, in life, I took time lightly. The axe of fate spares no one. Live today, die tomorrow. Life is fleeting, yet we chase endless desires. In death, we become dust, become ash. Souls lingering, trapped in worldly cycles. For those still wearing this human cloak, what matters most? Act now without delay. Yama accepts no bribes. To avoid his face, awaken and practice now. Everything we receive in this life is the result of what we created before. What we do now will bear fruit later. Life continues in this cycle. If we are aware, we can limit negative thoughts and avoid blaming heaven or others when things go against our wishes. Blessings come from diligence and a life of sacrifice. Cultivate compassion, help the poor, express gratitude to repay deep kindness, and maintain respect for all people and things. With faith in cause and effect, we avoid regrettable actions. Stay joyful and persistent in present goodness, and a bright, gentle tomorrow awaits. Silence doesn't kill, but wrong words can destroy a relationship. Some wounds come not from swords or knives, but from words sharp as needles. Some leave not for lack of love, but because they cannot bear the harsh words of those closest to them. One who stays silent amidst noise, who endures insults with patience, is a person of wisdom and blessings. Silence at the right moment is not weakness, but choosing peace over storms. Silence preserves harmony, avoids creating karma, and grants a quiet space to return within. Don't rush to argue to prove a point. Truth needs no shouting, it remains true. Those who understand you will feel even what you don't say. Only those lacking love demand victory in words. The deeper a person, the less they speak. The more compassionate, the less they hurt others with words. Those who've endured great suffering no longer eagerly join petty disputes. They choose peace as a friend, silence as wisdom. So, if one day you feel the need to speak, ensure your words are wholesome, clear, and loving. Otherwise, let silence preserve your connections. The silent aren't ignorant. They've seen too much and choose peace. Not responding to right or wrong isn't defeat, but victory over oneself. When you conquer yourself, no one remains an enemy in your heart, only the stillness of a lotus fully bloomed in the lake of your mind. Speak less for a pure, tranquil heart, for the lotus of your mind to bloom. Many words bring errors and troubles, endless entanglements circling around. A hot-tempered person with a venomous tongue, no matter how kind their heart, will drive others away in fear. Even with sound reasoning, soften your tone. Reason must be clear, but demeanor should be gentle. Before criticizing others, examine your own flaws. In any matter, speaking less is better than speaking much, and speaking at the right time is best. Words are a key to open others' hearts and a weapon to wound them swiftly. You may not see the pain of those hurt by your words, but their suffering is real. Often, words are like invisible blades, killing without blood, yet sharp and cruel. A careless word, a cold glance, a thoughtless gesture can extinguish surging passion. In arguments, unchosen words, or in excitement, careless speech can become daggers piercing another's heart. The closer the relationship, the deeper the wound. Sometimes, the speaker is too callous, leaving the listener shattered. It may stem from habits of loud speech, a sharp tongue with a kind heart, or a bad mood sparking unwarranted anger. But consider, how much love must the other have to endure and forgive for so long? Time may heal wounds, but scars never fade, aching or itching when touched. Words may not take lives directly, but they easily erode bonds, push people away, sever ties, and leave life desolate. In a relationship, harmony is hard-won. Once hurt, returning to the initial ease is nearly impossible. To avoid regret for hurting others, open your heart a bit, manage your emotions better, and mind your words. When angry, don't speak, as we cannot predict if our words will wound. When unbalanced, silence is best. Words spoken in anger's heat carry no wisdom. Anger at those you care for only fuels more anger. Distinguish who matters and who doesn't. If you can appeal to emotion, avoid cold reasoning. Anger at strangers is self-inflicted trouble. Punishing yourself for others' faults only hurts you. Why do we get angry? From baseless rumors, backstabbing, misunderstandings, unfair treatment, or lack of deserved respect. Sometimes, anger is unavoidable, as joy, anger, love, and sorrow are emotions not everyone can control. In life, if anger arises, pause the conversation to calm your heart. Practice letting go of grievances, taking responsibility, moving past mistakes, and erasing pain. Then, opportunities expand, and life becomes lighter and freer. Often, we're harsher with loved ones than strangers, leaning on their affection to act poorly, lashing out or demanding without considering the hurt caused. A person's character is shaped by circumstances. Those quick to anger are often spoiled, self-centered, and oblivious to others' perspectives. Simply put, selfish. Reflect on your behavior and ask if it should continue. In truth, only those lacking self-control easily rage. We know anger solves nothing. We must face dissatisfaction calmly, examine it, and find solutions. We all wish for someone to shield us in rain, comfort us in injustice, or protect us in danger. But we understand, no matter how long the road, we walk it alone. No matter how tangled the task, we handle it ourselves. No matter how deep the pain, we must pass through it ourselves. The world is unpredictable, so stay alert. Hearts change, so adapt. Learn calmness, but also when to let go. Facing the difficult can be liberation. Accepting the unacceptable fosters growth. Though the heart is often weak, strive to live boldly. No one can live your life for you. Love yourself, treat yourself well, and live days you're proud of. Life is like a wisp of smoke, fragile, fleeting in the vast world. Fame, wealth, status, the things we chase, turn to dust when we leave this world. The only thing that remains is what we've given, love, tolerance, and the good we've left in others' hearts. Life is impermanent. No one knows what tomorrow holds or can cling to material things forever. Whether rich or poor today, powerful or ordinary, we all return to dust. The only difference lies in what we did during our time here. Some spend their lives amassing wealth, only to end in loneliness, with no one truly loving or valuing them. Others, less wealthy, readily help others, living meaningfully and earning respect and love. It's the kind acts, the shared moments, that are a person's most precious legacy. Instead of chasing impermanent things, cherish each moment you have. Love and treat those around you sincerely, for affection is the one thing time cannot fade. Sow seeds of kindness to make this world better. When we leave, we take no gold, but we can leave a spiritual legacy, compassion, tolerance, and the good we've done. A meaningful life isn't measured by wealth, but by what you contribute and the hearts you touch. Live so that, looking back, you have no regrets, and when you depart, your soul drifts lightly like smoke rising to the sky. Amid the rush of life, we sometimes wonder, is being a good person truly worth it? Does kindness bring anything but disadvantage? Yet, looking back, we realize that those with a kind heart not only bring light to others, but also find peace within their own souls. In a world full of competition and calculation, some still choose to live with kindness. They help others without expecting repayment. They treat people sincerely, not for personal gain. They may face setbacks, but their hearts remain at peace. For kindness is a shield that protects the soul, allowing us to live serenely amidst countless storms. Kindness is not weakness or naivety, but a noble choice. When we treat others with sincerity, even if life is sometimes unfair, even if some fail to appreciate us, what matters is that we preserve a pure heart, untainted by the evils of the world. Kindness is not about giving to receive, but about keeping the soul tranquil, free from guilt or burdens. Along the journey of life, we may encounter those who exploit our goodwill, moments when we feel weary from giving without receiving. But remember, kindness is like a seed sown in the earth. Today, it may not yet sprout, but when the right conditions align, it will bloom in ways we never expected. A smile, a word of encouragement, a small act, these can spread warmth to another soul. If I could live again, I'd sit quietly in the fields at dusk, by the small river flowing through the village, silently gazing at my reflection, listening to the rice sing along the dike. If I could live again, I'd stroll with dear friends through rain-soaked streets, finding a spot amid life's hustle, watching the sunset, echoing the temple bell's chime. If only the boat of life could sail backward, carrying me back to the bloom of youth. I'd live the present freely, without sorrow, not chasing shadows, but staying true and steadfast.